The snake surges forward, seizing the smallest opening to take control of the moment. With no showmanship, it only needs to lock onto the right weak point to make another hunter hesitate. Its advantage is speed, precision, and an almost chilling ability to read an opponent's rhythm. A delay of even half a second can flip the balance of survival instantly. And when the hunter is suddenly pulled into a reactive position, who stays calm enough to make it through? In the natural world, a legless body is often seen as a disadvantage. But with around 4,000 species spread across the planet, everywhere except Antarctica and isolated islands like Ireland or New Zealand, snakes have turned that limitation into an ultimate advantage. Many species rely on venom, like a biological switch, to quickly weaken a target, while constrictors use pressure and positioning to control and overpower. Within ecosystems, snakes are both hunters and population regulators, an unseen balancing force, but an extremely important one. In the humid forests of Asia, the king cobra and the mongoose are long-standing rivals. When they cross paths, tension rises instantly. One is the world's longest venomous snake, reaching about 18 feet, lifting its body like a watchtower, always ready to burst into motion. The other stays compact and low to the ground, eyes locked in, ready to change direction in an instant. As the distance closes, the king cobra drives a rapid series of strikes, trying to herd the mongoose into a narrow gap. The mongoose answers with lightning reflexes, around 20 milliseconds, slipping along the edge of danger, then snapping sideways to disrupt and force the snake to pivot. At times, the face-off turns into a breathless chase through tree roots and leaf litter. If the king cobra cannot pin down a vulnerable opening, its stamina drops with each raised display. As the rhythm breaks, the mongoose can move in closer and pressure the opponent to back away. And in the wild, the king cobra does not only pursue other species. When food becomes scarce, it may compete aggressively, even with its own kind, sometimes even young king cobras newly separated from their mother. It is a way to maintain energy, but it can also raise the risk of conflict and territorial disputes. Unlike most snakes that choose to stay hidden, the black mamba is known for an unusually intense territorial instinct. It is not only an animal, but a symbol of caution across the African savannah. Over short distances, it can move at about 12 miles per hour, fast enough to stay in control instead of fading into the brush. When a lion crosses paths with a black mamba, the tension spikes in an instant, and one wrong step can change everything. The black mamba is not intimidated by the lion's size. Instead, it may move forward aggressively and continue pressuring an intruder. From its dark mouth, the black mamba's biological toxins can spread quickly, affecting the nervous system and movement. This can cause the king of the savannah to lose coordination and gradually become unable to function. In severe neurotoxin exposure, this can happen in as little as about 20 minutes. Because of that, the biggest mistake is not a lack of strength, but a lapse in caution. Nature's rule is cold and simple. Respect distance, read the signals, and step back at the right time. Sometimes that is the smartest form of survival. The clicking sound carries across the open savanna like a countdown. The rattlesnake is activating its warning system. Without any display, it stays hidden in near-perfect camouflage, waiting for the moment to surge into action. In the world of snakes, this is what decisive survival looks like. When a red-tailed hawk drops in, a highly technical survival dance begins. The snake does not give ground. It holds a tight defensive posture, repeatedly launching lightning-fast moves to maintain distance. This is a clash of elite reflexes. The hawk glides and dodges the dangerous snaps, waiting for a brief opening to drive in with sharp talons and decide the moment in only a few seconds. On the ground, the roadrunner chooses a different approach, using speed to play with risk. With millisecond-level reflexes, it makes hard, sudden direction changes that neutralize the snake's snap in an instant. In that moment, the savannah becomes a racetrack of nerves and timing, where no one is an absolute ruler. Each species holds its own key to survival: warning signals, razor-sharp vision, or speed beyond the limit. In these harsh encounters, safety is never guaranteed. If nature had a title for pure toughness, the honey badger would almost always be on the short list. It is much smaller than many opponents, yet it survives with a no-back-down attitude, willing to close in even on snakes with powerful venom. The secret is in its build. Skin that is about 0.24 inches thick and relatively loose. When it gets caught in an attack, the honey badger can still twist inside that armor, push back, and slip out of a tight hold. It does not rely on size, but on angles, rapid direction changes, and impressive endurance. At times, after venom exposure, a honey badger can lapse into a still state for a few hours, and then recover, like a brief pause in a harsh cycle. When it comes back, it moves off in silence, as if it has just completed a desert test. The toughest is not the reckless one, but the one that can stand up again after the stumble. In the natural world, eagles are often seen as an undeniable nemesis of reptiles. Yet in the sky, the line between hunter and target can blur in an instant because of one decisive turn. The sky's top predator makes its biggest mistake when its talons fail to gain a secure hold. Right in midair, the snake uses its extreme flexibility, twisting nearly 180 degrees and coiling upward. In a dramatic moment of free fall, it snaps into a direct defensive move against the one holding on. Instead of leaving obvious physical damage, biological toxins begin to take effect, disrupting the hunter's ability to control its wings. The numbness can lead to a complete loss of control, turning the pursuit into a sudden reversal. Between the clouds, the winner is not always the stronger one, but the one that holds on to the will to survive until the final second. In Florida's wetlands, a struggle for control is unfolding. The Burmese python, an invader weighing nearly 200 pounds and stretching about 20 feet, is reshaping the survival rules of the Everglades. With its massive size, it is not just a reptile, it is a consumption machine with few true equals. The mistake younger American alligators make is underestimating the strength behind those tightening coils. The moment contact happens, the python uses powerful muscle to generate overwhelming pressure, neutralizing the Florida icon's famous jaws. In this clash between two wetland heavyweights, the traveler from Southeast Asia can gradually push a native heavyweight into a losing position. With more than 100,000 individuals spreading, their presence is an alarm bell. As the Burmese python's coils draw in, it is not only overwhelming a single animal, it is also tightening its grip on the balance of an entire American ecosystem. A harsh lesson in what happens when an invader becomes a dominant force. In the shade along forest edges and rocky ground, the leopard moves like a wisp of smoke, silent, precise, and always keeping an exit. It can weigh over 100 pounds and haul prey into a tree as if it were routine. But around snakes, pure muscle is no longer an absolute advantage. What matters is caution. When it notices a thin, cord-like motion in dry grass, the leopard does not rush in. It circles wide, drops its center of gravity, and tests the space with a front paw, as if measuring distance. One mistimed feint can turn curiosity into risk, so it chooses the safer method. Pressure the opponent into revealing its position, then ease back the moment a warning signal appears. Sometimes, the encounter ends with nothing more than a step away. The leopard understands that a meal is not worth trading away its mobility, the trait that carries it through long, dry seasons. On the ground of a solitary hunter, true skill is not about charging in, but about knowing when to pass and keep ruling in silence. On the savannah, the lion stands as a symbol of authority, yet nature never reserves the throne for anyone. In a single moment of inattention, roles can reverse, and the hunt can shift in an instant. In the wild, every movement carries a cost. Miss one critical beat, and everything can be lost. Each forceful charge is a warning. Each evasive move is a test of survival. This is the story of the moment when the dominant force must pay a price, and that price begins right now. Dawn rises over the Serengeti, where the lion holds its position as the ruler of the savannah. It controls a territory spanning hundreds of square miles and leads a complex social structure. With a bite force approaching 650 pounds per square inch and claws extending more than 3 inches, the lion stands at the top of the food chain, where strength helps shape ecological order. Yet authority is not immune to error. One moment of misplaced confidence is enough to unsettle judgment. From there, countermoves take form, becoming quiet lessons that follow the lion throughout its lifetime. Across the sun-scorched savannah, the giraffe appears like a breathing watchtower. Standing over 18 feet tall and weighing around 2,600 pounds, it moves slowly while keeping its head high to read the horizon. Its true defense does not lie in the long neck, but in the hind legs reaching nearly 6 feet, a survival lever capable of releasing force in a single motion. For a pride of lions, this is an immense source of energy and a test of discipline. They do not rush forward all at once. The formation spreads into a wide arc, closing in from multiple angles, searching for a way to disrupt balance. But when the giraffe is a mother, the situation shifts immediately. Without panic, she pivots her body, maintaining distance through precise backward steps. Weight settles to the rear, tension building like a coiled spring. As the circle tightens, a sudden kick is released in an instant, forcing those closing in to redirect at once. The rhythm of the hunt slows. The lions break their angles and pull back, waiting for another moment. Because at this range, even a slight miscalculation can end the opportunity. In nature, power does not belong only to the hunter. It belongs to the one that holds position, through composure, distance, and the right response at the right moment. On the African savanna, antelope are a strategic food source, estimated to account for around 70% of a lion's natural diet. Yet they do not exist solely to be pursued. For many species, defenses are already in place, and every close approach becomes a reversed test for the predator. The oryx stands as a symbol of determination. Its straight horns, extending more than 35 inches, give it the appearance of a spear-bearing warrior. As lionesses close the distance, the oryx keeps the horn tips pointed straight ahead, then pivots at the precise moment to cut off the approach. With a single clean adjustment, the ambush immediately falls apart. The sable antelope presents a different kind of challenge. Weighing close to 500 pounds and equipped with curved horns reaching up to 4 feet, it remains constantly ready to respond. One imprecise angle of approach is enough to reverse momentum, ending the pursuit before any advantage can take shape. With wildebeest, the threat takes another form. When pressed, it does not flee in confusion. It turns back, lowers its head, and uses its horns as a barrier. One decisive response is enough to make the lion step back, recognizing this is not an easy target to overcome. On the savanna, life is not given freely. It is preserved through composure, distance, and a response timed correctly. On the savanna, the force that makes a predator hesitate can sometimes come from an opponent surprisingly small. In nature, size does not always define strength. The honey badger, weighing only around 25 pounds and moving low to the ground, carries the presence of an animal that refuses to be pressured. When several young lions surround it, the honey badger does not retreat. It drives forward instead, confronting animals many times its size and releasing sharp vocal signals that disrupt the approach. Its skin, roughly 1/4 of an inch thick, loose and flexible, makes it difficult for a grip to hold firmly. What causes hesitation, however, is not persistence alone. The honey badger also carries a powerful scent-based defense, turning close range into a risky choice. After several tense moments, the lions begin to spread out, reassessing the cost of engaging a target so small. In the end, the predators move away. Not because of defeat, but because it is not a pursuit worth the effort. Beneath the murky water, the Nile crocodile rules in silence. Measuring around 16 feet in length and weighing over 1,000 pounds, it embodies ancient power among clouded currents and slick, muddy banks. Speed is unnecessary. The crocodile survives through patience, remaining still, waiting for movement to enter the water, where alertness can fail in an instant. For the lion, the riverbank is a necessary stop and a line of risk. Each lowered head to drink is a calculated gamble. In a split second, the surface can erupt from below, driven by a sudden surge with an estimated bite force of about 3,700 psi. The lion often pulls back in time to retreat. But here, control does not belong to the ruler of land. It belongs to the water. Experience is something a young lion does not yet possess, and the river offers no second chances. A single curious step taken too slowly at the edge is enough to turn the shoreline into a boundary that cannot be reversed. A lioness may rush forward, but the slick terrain and a momentary gap in timing can be enough for the cub to vanish beneath the murky surface. The mistake makes no noise, yet it leaves a lasting absence within the structure of the pride. This is not a story of which animal is stronger. It is a confrontation between two rulers of different worlds. When the environment shifts its role, the one in control can be forced to yield, simply by placing a foot in the wrong place. Across the African savanna, lions and spotted hyenas stand as long-standing rivals, competing over the same core elements: space and survival rewards. The spotted hyena is not as large as its fierce reputation suggests. Each individual weighs around 140 pounds, yet carries a bite force reaching about 1,100 psi, powerful enough to end most challenges quickly. Still, true strength does not rest in the jaws, but in numbers. The sharp, high-pitched calls are not chaos, but a tactical language used to coordinate and press opponents. As pressure from the group builds, the hyenas begin to push back. They do not rush in directly. Instead, they apply constant harassment, probing for gaps in the lioness's defensive line. Distance narrows to only a few feet. Momentum shifts, forcing the lions to consider pulling away. The balance changes only when a male lion, weighing around 420 pounds, enters the scene. His presence alone alters the rhythm. The hyenas slow. The formation loosens. Safe distance is restored. The lesson is clear. Victory does not require being the strongest. It requires coordination, awareness, and knowing when to stop. Along seemingly calm stretches of African rivers, one of the continent's most formidable animals lies hidden. An adult male hippo, weighing around 4,000 pounds, carries a body like a floating fortress, with an almost absolute sense of territory. Its jaws can open to nearly 150 degrees, revealing tusks longer than 12 inches, not for display, but to establish clear boundaries. Lions are sometimes forced to approach the water's edge out of necessity. Yet this is where advantage shifts most quickly. In the water, the hippo controls the space. On land, that massive body can still surge forward at speeds close to 19 miles per hour. When lions attempt to form a surrounding position, they face another reality. A bite force reaching up to 1,800 psi, exceeding any physical pressure a savanna predator can apply. Such encounters rarely last long. The lion's refined hunting experience loses meaning against thick skin and overwhelming power. When the hippo closes its jaws, the ruler of the plains often chooses to step back, not from weakness, but from recognizing that some territories are not its own. Snakes are a symbol of danger, and that instinct to stay cautious always has a reason. But in nature, they are also keepers of rhythm, forcing the savanna and deep forests to respect the rule of distance. After every encounter, what remains is refined strategy and a steady ecological balance. If this wild series is worth following, press like to support it. And subscribe so the journey does not break, where nature always teaches a new lesson without needing a loud voice.